Good afternoon. Wait, on. Bob, I was waiting for that loud voice. I was talking riff-raff. All right, well, let's go ahead and get started. All right. Thanks again. Appreciate you all being here. It's always amazing to see so many phenomenal agents in the office. And you know, this is why it's so important with the culture, right? It's all about the synergy. And thank you. Thank you all. Give yourself a round of applause. All right. Who wants to start with our mission beliefs? Anyone want to volunteer? Bob. Bob, you're the chosen one, sir.
Our mission to provide agents with a place where they will be empowered, trained, and motivated to experience growth, wealth, and a legacy that allows them to live their best possible life.
Yes, sir. Our beliefs. When the values of your company align with your own beliefs, you know you found your professional home. Our vision to achieve amazing professional and personal development so that KW South Bay remains the agency of choice. Yes. All right, let's continue. Next slide. By the way, I'm using a new camera. The audio might be a little better. So for the agents that are not here in person, I think they should be able to hear us. Don't worry, Minnie, the camera's behind here too, so I have it there. We want to thank our affiliate for providing us with the Jersey Mike sandwiches. So let's give Justin Wills a round of applause. He's running a little late, but we're giving him an opportunity to say a little bit about his home warranty. All right, next slide. All right, let's welcome our newest members to the family. Who wants to help me with the names? Because I always mess up the names. Bob?
Rosie, it's your turn. Oh, don't give me that. I'm taking on my Rosie.
All right. Well, let's do this. Okay, Amira. So let's welcome Amira. I'll give a shout. Oh, you got the third one.
Arvin.
Arvin, yes. Carla.
Mina.
Mina. And then I'll do the last one. That's right. Right? So welcome to the KW South Bay office. You know, we're so grateful and that you have chosen South Bay company of choice.
So you got somebody call, by the way, point them out if they want to be pointed out. Mina is over here, seeing.
Where's there? Well, I want to share a quick story. I was actually with Mina this morning at 10 o'clock. And I was looking at my time, making sure that I had my time allotted for her to meet. And before you know it, it was an hour and 30 minutes later, and we were still talking. It's like, get ready for a team meeting. So, you know, we had a great conversation. So thank you again for taking time to come with us. All right. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. All right, let's continue. Next slide, please. All right, is Maria giving us some updates on
Hey, everyone. Yeah, I love working here. I love working with all of you. And
We love you too, Maria.
Get to know you each more and more in my work. So just so you know, in October on the 19th at 10:30, I'm going to do a net sheet class. That means I'm going to go over all the line items on the net sheet in detail and let you know what they are, what they stand for, what they represent. So you can relay that to your client when you meet with them and you show them the net sheet, you'll know what you're talking about when you go over it with them. And you can explain what each fee stands for. So that's really important. Then we have a drawing for $100 Amazon card for whoever you
Leadership.
yes, for whoever you sorry, but whoever used that, so in the last 30 days. So we're gonna go and get
Sound.
okay,
All right, here we go.
one.
This one. Okay. see. It's Al Agena here. Maria, actually, I have another gift too. So let's do another drawing for someone else.
Oh,
What's that? All right, one more. Okay, here we go. Who's the lucky person? Cheyenne. So come on up here. So just to share a story, most of you saw probably social media. I was in Las Vegas for the Black Belt Team Leader Mastermind. Thank you. And this is something that they gave us, and I ended up picking a couple of them because I thought it was pretty cool. So it's a phone charger, but what I like about this phone charger is that it has the adapter for different phones. But what I like, it says KW.
Oh, great, cool.
So affordable one. So,
So, I've been doing a lot of net sheets for everyone, talking to people to come up for notaries, and just remember, you don't have to pay for any notary services if you need. Come upstairs anytime, or just give me a call and we'll set up a time for you. If you need that service, and net sheets, just send me an email. Some of the things I need to know are the property address, most importantly, your commission percent, and if the property is owner occupied, because you want to know if we're going to include that CalPERS withholding, that's a big chunk, okay? All right, let me know if you have questions. I'm upstairs. Thank you.
Maria. So let me just put up people. So let's continue. Next slide, please. All right, we have our guest speaker, Maria. So where's Maria? Maria, welcome. I know, right? Yeah. So thank you so much, Maria, for coming in. So what are you going to be talking to us about?
Okay, so, hi, everybody. So, my name is Maria Pinushka. I'm an estate planning attorney. So, often people confuse, they think I'm a real estate planning attorney, which is not. Estate planning, means, hopefully, the reason why I come to presentations like this is to share the information to make sure that you understand the concept and you can advise the clients properly. So my idea is for all of the agents, all the professionals to be not just, agents who sell or purchase the property for the clients, collected their fees and buy. No, I would appreciate if all of you would become trusted advisors for your clients. So you are the point of contact for them. For creating those personal relationships with each and every client, hopefully, it doesn't happen all the time, but I think it should be all of our attempts. So if they need a plumber, they call you. I don't know if you want that. but that's how you keep that. So if they need real estate, if you need to sell or buy, you're the first on their list to call you to the next time. So I need to connect.
So Ned, if you can allow Maria to share her computer too, please.
Am I allowed now?
I think so. Okay.
Okay, I was told that I have half an hour. My presentation will usually last a lot longer, but I'll try to make it as short and as informative as possible for you. So, Maria Pinushka with MVP logo, MVP actually stands for my initials. Very convenient. I realized that 10 years after practice, I've been for a while law offices of Maria V. Pinushka, professional law profession, people that says, and I was like, oh, I'm MVP. Okay, so today we're going to talk about purpose of the statement, what it is, and how it relates to your to what you do. Here's something about myself. I probably from the accent you can tell that I'm Russian. I was born and raised in Soviet Russia at the age of 11, I realized that I wanted to become an attorney. Because I have this personal monovaricous need to protect people, I call bullies, I want to throw a border, so that's what I decided to do, graduated from State University, became an attorney. Worked for half a year at the DA's office in the Edinburgh. Quickly, my ideas about going to work in Washington, they were ruined. So I then immigrated here with my husband, being pregnant. Regular immigrant story. Started all my way from like taxi driver, house cleaning, lady, nanny, I used to do it all. And then I decided that I still wanted to be returned. So I graduated law school here, found the bar for the first time.
Maria,
And,
if you can come more in the center, so that Mike can hear you.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
People on
People
Zoom cannot hear
complaining.
you.
They're not speak
They're not
louder.
complaining.
So,
They just can't hear you.
Substance of all about you. So, opened my office in 2009, and the rest of the history. For the past 5 years, I've been concentrating on estate planning because when I graduated university or in law school here, I worked at city attorney's office, also volunteered at city attorney's office here. And what I realized that it doesn't matter which continent you live in, which country you live in, the system is the system. And as soon as your affairs get in touch with the system, in all those years, you get stuck with it. And what I'm trying to do now is to make sure that people have power in their own hands and they do not allow the government, I'm against the government. Sorry, but you guys want that. And so I want you to be in power. I want people to decide for themselves what they want to do with their lives, how to protect themselves, their families, their assets, what they work so hard for life. And do not allow the judge clerk to put a mark on your file and wait years until your case gets resolved in public court, which we'll get to. So I especially take care about this. I'm a business person, I'm a mother, I'm a pet owner, I'm daughter, I'm sister, I'm all what people have all these hats they wear. And it all comes down to ultimately what I do, estate planning. So all of the person at the age of 18 must have a plan. People think that they have to have an estate on Mulholland Drive to start planning, which I'm trying to fight for because what rich people who have an actual estate on Mulholland Drive, they have their defense covered usually. They have all these attorneys' offices work for not all the time. But what I'm trying to do is to give information to regular middle class Americans who work hard, but they don't know. From what I see is like a conspiracy theory. People don't know what's possible, how they can protect themselves, their children from the extra expenses, hassles of public court and the system. Okay. So what are the types of ownership possible? So you can own, I'm going now to real estate, what actually concerns you. You can own as a sole proprietor. So I'm going to talk about type of ownership and what effect it has on the file. So while you're buying or selling property for your clients, you see the dynamics. You usually learn about the clients, about their families, about their kids. It could be variety. It could be a single person, it could be they could be partners, they could be coming from blended families, they could be disabled child, they could be, older, parents coming to live with them. So all of those has different consequences for their future. What's going to happen to this particular property in case while you're living, in case of your incapacity, or in case you pass away, who's gonna own what? So I have so many sad stories to tell. I hate receiving those phone calls when it's too late and nothing can be done, especially for the past 2 years, with the COVID, especially, people check out quickly. And, I'm a little sexist here, I'm for the guys, because, those providers for the families, because most regular families where the husband is the breadwinner. And, passed away, like 40s. And when wives end up with nothing, or families who they support with, and no planning, disarray, and so chaos. So my idea is for each and every person, doesn't matter if male or female, leave after that, think about now, what's gonna happen now. If you do not come home tomorrow or today, what's gonna happen to your family? Are you responsible? You're gonna leave a legacy. You are one of the, ideas of your office, leaving a legacy and leaving a legacy. Or you're gonna, it's gonna be a chaos after you pass away. One lady came to me when her husband passed, and she was crying. She didn't know what to do, where to go. And she told me, okay, if he is erected right now, I'd kill him myself. because of how irresponsible he is. He left all this mess with me with 2 kids. I don't know what to do, where to go. So sole owner, it's basically a person owns it in his or her name. What are the cons? Again, if something happens to the person, passes away, then if they don't have a plan, if they don't have a plan for who's inheriting the property, the state has the plan, and it's not the best. Possible unintended beneficiaries or beneficiaries you would want to include, they're not included. Again, there's a story for that, I don't have time. And also creditors can have access to your assets, and so it is not secure. Then tenants in common, as you know, tenants owning shares certain percentage or portion of the property in their own names, and if they pass away, then their whoever is the next in kin, or whoever is on the will or the trust will inherit the property. The problem is that tenants can't check out and say, hey, I want to sell my share. I don't want to be with you anymore. That's a problem. And still, if there is no estate plan, then probate is going to be involved, and the whole property will be tied into possible litigation or going through the probate proceedings. We have a probate specialist here. During tenancy, I'm sure that most of you see it's the most commonly used type of ownership is joint tenancy. Husband and wife owning properties, joint tenants, and that's none of the estate planning attorneys would advise that, because what happens is, again, unintended beneficiaries. If, for example, husband and wife, and if there's a blended family, people, children coming from different relationship, and let's kill wife first this time. Usually it's a guy.
Brutal.
So if he decides to remarry, or if he loves his kids better than wife's kids, but they purchased this property together and invested in property together with labor or money, it doesn't matter. And now he can say, hey, only my kids get everything, and her kids will be left behind. What's with the sole ownership? Let's go back. Sole ownership, I'm sure you've seen for various reasons, sometimes even a married couple put title on one of the person's name. It could be if they have better credits or better, everything. So it's better to fund or receive lending money for the property. So they put invoice. Oh, they think that traders, will be, hiding one person with all the debts, and the other person stays with all the good credit and clean credit, and a lot of money. So, real situation, my friends. So she passed away. Of course, I told them create an estate plan. Never listen, right? Tomorrow, it's always tomorrow. Procrastination. And so the title was held in married woman as a sole and separate property, married. So she passes away. It took me almost 9 months
to transfer title from her name to the name of the husband through the probate court. A lot of fees, $1,500 just to start the case in probate court. And it is ridiculous, but that's the truth. Thank God they have adult children. Thank God children said, okay, Papa will get everything. But they had the right to raise their hands and say, hey, no, I want my third. And the relationship could differ. Those kids, even he is a or she a good kid, his or her spouse can say, no, you have the right to this, say no, you have to get it. So the father, the husband would have to sell the property, give the rest to kids and end up with nothing. With now rent prices, he would, last for how many years? So it's all unintended consequences, just because we didn't think, okay? And it's not always about the money. More often, it's about the feeling, as like this lady, I would kill him. It's the living a legacy. So when kids come to me, my clients die, but when they have a plan, kids come to me for the, what to do next. The atmosphere is peaceful. So we talk about the parents, love, remembering stories, etc. They know what to do next. I guide them. And whenever people come with probates, when there was no plan, it's different. It's like hectic. You could see, it's like, what do we do? How come they didn't take care of us? And then when they find out how easy it was actually, they're like, okay, why? Why do we have to be in this situation? Just why? So that's why I'm trying to spread the word to make sure, and hopefully through you can advise your clients, hey, now you got this property. Congratulations, here's the key. And I don't know what your policy, but I've seen usually, when my daughter was in real estate, she would give like folders to clients with the basic local plumber, locksmith, I don't know, insurance agent.
We have something similar. It's our KW hub. It's a site. And then that's where we have our resources and our affiliates as well. So
Yes.
it makes it a lot easier for the agents.
It's easier, but when people get something, they value it. People love ribbons, when they open something like with the kids, nice giving you little so there also can be information about the statement. So I care about you. What's gonna happen next? I don't know. I know you don't want to talk about death during the process of a person, but after you're done, you go, hey, I care about your family. I want to protect you. I want to make sure that you're beautiful family as you are. Now you're happy, just to be protected. And that's involved. I don't know if you have people coming from insurance companies to talk about life insurance, property insurance, different types of protections, etc. Okay, where am I? Tenancy by tariffs, it's similar. In all of these scenarios, creators claims. So property is subject to creators, and special tenants, joint tenants, for example. Sometimes people say, hey, I don't want to spend $3,500, $3,500 on a stage plan. I'm just gonna put a title, my son, my child, so as a joint tenant. So if I pass, property passes, goes automatically to my child and avoiding probate. Beautiful, that may work. However, if you have 1, 2, how many children you have? I trust my kids. They will share with brothers and sisters. Yeah, right. They may, but again, their spouses, their kids, their, and the things among siblings change very fast. So again, you're losing control. That child can be subject to the creator's claim, car accident, IRS, whatever. And then your property that you worked so hard for all your life becomes, available to creators. They can sell their share and pay the creators. Why worry about it? I do not want my clients, especially older, to lose control. And older people, they usually grab first the wallet and the keys, you know? So I don't want them to even think and have this controversy in the family where they have to worry about, oh, you want me to die so you can get there, oh, you want to sell. So just avoiding unnecessary discomfort and keeping control. And of course, no, let's talk about this one first. So limited liability company usually is advised to title property in LLC when it is the investment property. You rent it out, you collect fees, and not for your house, make house usually. Again, for each and separate, it is advisable to keep these properties in LLCs for creator protections, for asset protection reasons. And if you have clients with multiple properties, please advise them to have them in each and separate LLC, each property in a separate LLC. Again, a story, because the reason why we create LLC to protect us from liability. So LLC only answers to creators. One of my clients, multi-property owners, didn't want to spend, you know, all the fees on his CPA, paying $800 a year to FTB. So she got sued. So tenant claimed mold exposure, and the case is still pending. And of course, thank God that the claim was $500,000 under the insurance limit. So we good. But if the claim somebody fell and broke head, I don't know, brain something injury or broke bones, whatever, or severe mold exposure, $1 million. That means that all of her properties that are part of the LLC will be available to creators. That's why we want to separate it, or at least get an umbrella insurance. Yeah, you had a question.
I have a question about that. I have a friend that has like 40 properties, right? And it's put all in a trust.
We're gonna go through the trust.
Okay.
But still, in that situation, trust is good. Trust is the next step. When my clients have LLCs, then we transfer title interest in LLC to the trust.
So the LLC.
So LLC is still separate, and that LLC to the trust. It's called a double layer of protection. That's the best.
That's what it should have done, but it's not a trust.
That's the, so in a trust. In a trust is the legal term. It's like, I call it as a treasure box. You create a trust, living trust. It's called living, that it lives with you. So whatever changes you have in life, you change your trust. In that document, you can decide that how to manage your assets and your life while you're living, when you become incapacitated physically or mentally, and when you pass away. Everything can be put in there. The terms are, you know, it's a beauty. So for example, while you're living, you become the trustee. So now Jane and John will not own property in their own names as Jane and John, but Jane and John as trustees of the trust. So now you have a title. And you become managers. It's kind of like an entity. So that's why you don't need probate. Probate is needed because only person, him or herself, or probate judge can transfer title of the property. That's it. Now you're transferring title to the trust, and you can manage from the name of the trust. That's why if you pass away, you appoint successor trustee manager who can later on transfer title and do whatever is necessary with the property. That's why probate is not required. Everything is done in peace. Whenever you see TMZ or People's Magazine, when the famous person dies, if you see all the shenanigans about how many wives and kids they have, that means they don't have a trust. How come you have all these millions and no one attorney who advised you to create a trust? And when you don't hear anything about it, that means they have trust. Everything is done peacefully within family. So family did what they have to do, mourn, and then do whatever they do. And the probate process is public. So any neighbor can stick in the nose and find out how many of what you had, how many kids from whenever, and et cetera. So there is also, so it's a revocable living trust, yes.
How much does it cost to set up a trust?
Varies.
Okay.
On LegalZoom, you can do it for $600. I tried that. The binder is very nice though.
My mom's older and she has a property that's free and clear, and would it be possible for me to set the trust up for her?
No,
So
she will
it's
have
just-
to,
she
she
would
will
have
have to, and be mindful of that, because when people creating a trust, I have to assert the capacity. So with older people, because the person has to be in the right mind.
Right.
Because with, sometimes even with diagnosis of dementia or Alzheimer's, when I talk to people, I have to, ask questions, how many kids you have, what do you have? So basics, I get the basics and I decide that, yes, they have capacity, that's what they want to do. But when it's too late, my mom is in a facility, she is schizophrenia or whatever, or dementia, and that's nothing I can do. Then it's incapacity. If she had the trust, she would say, hey, if I become incapacitated, my son will become in charge, no probate. Because now if she is out of her mind physically or physically cannot act, you have to go to probate, what it's called living probate, to get conservatorship over her. And that's $5,000 to start the process. It's long and humiliating process. People have to actually be willed into court, and they decide how to strip you of your rights. Again, sex is here. I've seen these guys. You could see that he was like, dude, no. And now life happens, stroke or something, and you could see that there's understanding in eyes, and being stripped of your rights. It's just so humiliating, and so just to protect yourself from the shivers. So yes, you can do the costs. My trust start with, well, as I tell you, each and every person has to have a plan, some sort of plan. Starting at 18, moms with children with no assets, there has to be a will. So will starts from 1,700, will package. Trust around 3,500, because I don't do simple. I want to say simple. There is no simple, because I ask so many questions during the consultation process, often very uncomfortable questions, but I have to get to know the family, the person, to create a proper plan. And the plan, it's usually standard trusts they do to avoid probate and give to kids 50-50. What it means, and they do not, if I go much deeper, I'm trying to see what kind of issues can arise in the future. For example, remarriage protection. Remember, we get one spouse dies, then you get model or pool boy guy, depending, and kids from original marriage can end up with nothing because things change. You remarry, new kids, your kids don't like stepmom, stepdad, and things get sour. What we can do, we can say, hey, if I pass away, it's community property. My 50% becomes irrevocable. So you can do whatever you want with your 50%, go to Vegas, gamble, whatever you do, because we still have, but my 50% will go to my kids. So we make you to sign prenuptial agreements and put it in writing that you cannot do anything, dispose of the property, only exchange. Then we can say, remember, kids receive everything in equal shares usually at the age of 18, if you don't specify the age when they can receive the money. Standard, if you own real estate here in California, it starts with $1 million already, kind of usually, plus some savings, plus maybe life insurance, 401k. So it grows. So if you have 2 kids, for 18-year-old kid to receive $1 million check, nothing's good gonna happen with it. It's gonna disappear pretty quickly unless you have a very unique child. And just a second, even for older kids. So with that, we can say, hey, in a trust document, we can say my kids will receive, let's say, at the age of 21, certain percent. When they graduate the university, certain percent. When they get, so you can structure how they're gonna receive. And you can go to extremes. My daughter asked me at the age of 16, can I get it to 2? I'm like, of course you can get it at 2, but in the trust document, it says, when you're gonna receive inheritance, you have to have the exam at dermatologist's office. And if they see it's a 2 with scar from tattoo removal, your share will go to other siblings. She's like, Mom, you could have just said no. I'm like, no, I gave you the option. I didn't do that. So you've seen all those movies. I have to get 2 kids, and by the age of 30, or I don't get. That means that it's trust. So you can be creative and manage your kids from the grave. Yes. Yes, difference between wills and trusts. Sir, I saw your hand. Wills and trusts. First thing people do, especially the older ones who read classics, about a statement. Oh, I need a will. That's the default. Will is if there's in the binders, I didn't expect so many people, so there's few. You can draw it. And if there's a will, there's probate. Will merely gives a judge an idea who you wanted the property to go to, but it still has to go through full probate process, and anybody can jump into probate. Somebody can raise his hand and say, "Hey, I took care of your mom for the past 2 weeks, while she was in bed dying, and she promised me $50,000. And here you go, evidentiary hearing, a lot of costs, time." Probate process here in Los Angeles takes about 2 years if everything is nice. Nobody is arguing, everything's good, because Los Angeles County, how many millions we have? 12 million people, and we have 9 probate judges. 4 things. I got one of my orders, the decisions signed in January. So judge said approved everything that I asked for. Everything's signed. Yes. I received the actual signed order in June. Because they say yes and put it in a stack, and you remember that mug on the file? It was there for a while. Oh, but not that they worked hard. In one of the cases, I'm in front of the judge in the courtroom. He's looking through whatever, and then he's told, hold on, like in cartoons, puts up his robe and runs and goes to the adjacent courtroom, does his case, something else, rules over there, then comes back to finish my case. It's just, I cannot blame them, except again against the government. They cut all the sports and they reduced the number of judges not to pay them. Sir, he gave up on me. Yes.
My question was the same.
Okay, so wills will not help. No, it won't. Will is important when there is no assets. When your assets are under 160,000, then you don't need probably. That's why parents.
What's the limit?
160,000. So especially wills are important for people with no assets but children. Cannot stress enough. It's out of our discussion here, but still important, because when I ask the question, so what's going to happen to your child? Let's say everybody's alive, but car accident, you're taken to the hospital. Oh, my mom will come, or my sister or my brother will come to pick them up. No, Child Protective Services will come and pick them up, because they don't know if your mom is an alcoholic or child abuser. They cannot just give child to anybody. That's why it's so simple. A will if you pass away, but power of attorney, guardians, limited guardianship forms, that I provide my clients with, which you can have, you fill it out, daycare, school, glove compartment. Easy, just invest some thought. People think about, you see, estate planning, it's so interesting, because I do also bankruptcy, I do personal injury. Those types of family law attorneys, what they do. Person, if you need it, you find the attorney and you call. Estate planning, everybody needs it. But people think about it all the time. Every time you board the plane, you have kids at home, what if? You know, all those what if questions can be answered, just invest several hours of your life, have it done, and don't think about it. And there's also cultural ideas of, okay, if I think about it, if I put anything in writing, I can jinx myself, I'm gonna die next day, right? So, yes, very, you know, but again, with those situations, I talk to people and trying to give them power and explaining what's gonna happen actually, and yes.
So it seems to me that a will would be more beneficial for the allocation of personal property, whereas a trust would be more beneficial for the allocation of real property.
Depends on the value, 160,000. If you have more than 160,000 in your bank account, investment, Bitcoins, whatever you have, everything your estate consists of, then it means trust or a will. A will is, I'm talking about, there is no assets, but there are children.
Yeah.
That's when it's important.
Look, can you have a holographic will, or it's better to have somebody, an attorney to do it for you?
It doesn't matter.
Because you don't have.
Yes, so you have two witnesses. You need to have two witnesses.
Once you have a trust, then you keep opening bank accounts or buying other properties. You need to go see the attorney every time, or you just need to keep track of.
There are instructions in my trust, so what to do, and I give instruction, and I don't charge for phone calls like that, what to do, you know. You become my client for life, and I give a call to my client in a year and a half, any changes, any new kids, new wives, whatever you have new in your houses.
Your wives or husband.
Yes, we have to go. Yes, no, you don't have to. I tell you, you can purchase property right into the name of trust. Be careful of refinancing. Talk to your clients about refinancing, because whenever they refinance, the companies make you take title of trust to your own name, but never tell you put it back into the trust name. And sad situations, you pass away that time, it's not in a trust, again, probate, so very important. So yes, you gave up. What else we can talk about?
If somebody has already a trust, and they want to update it and then consult you and
Yes.
see what, you know, is that a different fee or you do?
No,
that?
there is a fee. I do charge for review of the trust, usually $500 review, and I do not go to the substance because I don't want to be responsible for that trust, and most of them are not good. And if they hire me to do something, do revision, that 500 is included in the whatever fee.
Can you add foreign property to a trust?
You can mention it. My idea is that binder becomes your life. So next person coming in, spouse or child, they don't have to go through the drawers, call everybody. They open it and they see the whole picture. It gives peace of mind. Morning, you know, just doing the right thing. Everything's in there so they can see the property abroad. I always recommend my clients to do the planning. You know, usually it's a will sufficient in different countries because the inheritance process is easier than here.
Will you recommend when we work with investors, or we actually do some flips ourselves, if you have your properties under an LLC, and some people do have multiple properties under one LLC, when they should be separate. But if you're actually doing a flip, you should have an acquisition LLC while you're doing that project, because if something happened during that, all your other properties
Yes.
are affected.
With LLC, it's very important. Again, if people are trying to save, legal Zoom, go to thing like click, your LLC is ready. and they spit out the operating agreement. Operating agreement usually doesn't have the succession plan. Who gets your interest in case of your departure or disability? Especially important with partners. Believe me, partners usually last not more than half a year, supporting the family or person of the other partner. Then something happens, very difficult, and the family ends up with nothing. So very important to look at the elders.
I'll give an example. I had a probate. It was a 9-unit. There was two partners that had a handshake. One of the partners was on the hard money loan. They were doing a flip. The other partner, 3 minor children, was on title. The guy died in the middle. They ended up in probate in the middle of COVID for 3 years with a hard money loan.
Wow.
With me talking to the hard money guy, because he wanted, his son was going on 3 years, his probate. And Riverside County was even slower than LA County, and it was very bad. It was a very, I mean, who knew he could die in your own? Yeah. So they had to decide with this partner, that's not on title, it's on a loan.
And not just that, I mean, an employee getting hurt from the job.
Yes.
Sometimes they
It
have,
happens.
people don't have liability.
It was not pretty, it was very sad.
It's said unintended disability. The situation, husband, 4-year-old wife, like newer wife, and older daughter from prior relationship. And he had mother living in different countries. He would support her every month, sending her money. He checks out quickly, unexpectedly. Again, if you don't have a plan, the state has a plan for you. And according to our laws, mom gets nothing. So wife and daughter split multi-million-dollar estate, and for whatever reason, they decided not to include mom in anything. And again, and it was so, I mean, I, as a person, understand, I felt bad, but I couldn't do anything, and it's up to you what you do. That's another example how it's important to make your decision know, making sure that they do what you want to do, not the state.
What is the inheritance tax if you go to probate?
Surprisingly, don't tell anybody, California doesn't have this. that taxes. That's, I don't know, we've been taxed on everything but that. Other states do, but the federal tax is the limit. Tax is almost 50%, like 47.
50?
Yes, almost. But there is a exemption limit. 11.5 million now, so it's for only very high clients, high net worth, but that's 11.5 now is going to sunset in 2026. So, and even in Biden, it's been in works for at least 2 years, like a year and a half now. They want to lower it, of course, because Trump gave this 11 million to, we don't know, 3.5 or 5.5.
It's a big difference.
5.5 is kind of that you're middle class, but 3.5, 2 houses here south of Ventura, you're done. And for everything over it, you have to pay the state taxes, which is almost 50%. That's why for those people with their several properties, we can do further planning. It's called asset protection planning, where we can take taxable money, do little tricks, and make it untaxable money. But that's a whole another story. There is a possibility to create an irrevocable trust, especially for your maybe older people or high, with a lot of equity.
That's a life insurance, right?
Irrevocable life insurance. So that or the other trusts, so like irrevocable trust, where you know that this piece of land or this apartment building will last in generations. I want to, so you can secure it and it becomes unseen to creditors, even IRS, and bankruptcy, and also it becomes, for tax purposes, usually those buildings, it has benefits. And also irrevocable trusts are important for your older clients. who have maybe, what people usually, they live their life, they earn money, they save for the retirement. You know, don't do fun stuff while you're living and hope that you're gonna travel the world at the age of 65 and then bam, you get sick or whatever happens. You never live your life. And now if you go to the facility, boarding, you know, it's $12,000 a month, medium quality. And all those savings get depleted pretty fast. We can secure that, we can shield it, put it in irrevocable trust, and making sure that it has, you know, we have its and qualify you for Medi-Cal to pay for. Because most people think that Medicare will step in and take care of you while you're need long-term care. That's not gonna happen up to 90 days. That's it. Then you're on your own. So I think we're going beyond the scope. So basically, living trust is the answer. Must do. Any type of estate planning must do. 18 years old. I have this college program. So 18-year-old guy, adult, right? Goes to college across the country. Car accident, ski accident, whatever. His guy friend takes him to the hospital. He's called mom, your son is at this hospital. Mom calls the hospital. They say, who are you? He is an adult and his information is private and protected. We're not gonna share medical diagnosis and treatment plan or anything. As a mother, you know, you're excited, you're anxious, of course, then you have to fly, you have to, but it's again, so unnecessary. Power of attorney, healthcare directive, he performs, signed, you're done, you have peace of mind. Anything happens, God forbid, but you're prepared. So it's basically, if you know, for those interested, your family's future depends on the decisions you make today. So basically, it's up to you what's going to happen. And it's either you're going to decide or somebody else. And I try to make sure that you guys are empowered. And that's just the tip of the iceberg as well. Questions? So basically, trust.
Any other questions?
Is the street plan only in California? You have somebody
No.
that is in another state?
Yes, I can recommend people in other states.
Well, there's some information here that she can drop, and she can also on the chat, if you can put in your contact information,
There's my
business card, and all that.
There is also QR code. I don't know if you hear, would be
Beautiful. All right, any other questions? We have a couple more things to get through before the end of our team meeting. Maria, any last takeaways?
No, again, it's the value that you provide to your clients is you know, that you have to touch base with your clients at least 3 times a year. I don't know if you go 4 times a year, or just some informational email changes in, you know, in sales by whatever you guys, I do receive those emails. But one of those can be informational, like, hey, I care about you. Here's what you should do. Oh, I recommend you to consider this. Because my idea with the events that I'm doing, sharing the information, is that now you at least know. And if you decide, because there's a plan, some people have a plan. Hey, I don't care. Let these kids fight over it. I'm gonna look them upstairs and have fun. But that's the plan also. But it has to be. But that has to be an informed decision. If it's your decision, then that's okay. But after I gave you the information, it's up to you. Now you're responsible.
Even if you have an adult child that's alone, not married, you have to pay us $10,000 to get temporary guardianship. To even have their insurance paid for and updated, they don't want you to do it.
Yes.
Just to get temporary guardianship.
Yes.
Very good. All right. Well, Maria, thank you so much.
Sure.
Maria with MPP. A lot of information, Maria. Most of my team, I love it. So we're
I
done,
can
right?
say.
She'll be here for a bit. If you have any specific personal questions that you'd like to ask, Maria's gonna stick around for a bit, and do you have extra of those folders, Maria?
No, I think it's the.
Well, make sure to email her, and then she can
Yes,
send
I
us
can provide it.
or maybe you can send us a pack, a box full of them, and we can pass them on to the agents. All right, let's continue real quick. I know we're close on time. Chris, is Chris here?
Yes.
Chris, you got 2 minutes, my friend, 2 minutes.
Okay, I'll do it in 1 minute.
Better, even better.
Because most of what I have to say is about interest rates, and we all know where they've gone. They're gone up. We're hitting mid sixes now, 6 1/4, 6.5, depending on FICO score and loan amount. The terms of it, that's the bad. The good is they did increase rates today by 3/4 of a point. That's actually a good thing for us. We're already seeing the market kind of rebound the other way. It's going to take some time, but we do anticipate them kind of sliding back down, hopefully below 6 towards the end of the year. So there is some reprieve coming. The Feds did announce that they're going to do whatever they need to do on a go-forward basis, which probably sets up another 3/4 bump in November. Because inflation is their hot ticket right now. That's what they've got to get under control. And they are doing it, unfortunately, a little too late, but they are doing it. So that's kind of my 2-minute spill. Rates are hovering right about the low 6s to mid 6s, depending on the loan type. We're seeing a lot of ARM products now. Clients are knowledgeable about it now. I think you guys are actually pitching it more than I am. So they're asking me the questions about it. And then lastly, I haven't said this, the first time home buyer seminar that we had at the end of August was amazing. We had like close to 80 people, if not more. It was the most incredible event I've ever done. So we're gonna pitch another one probably in November. So keep that out there. It's just good stuff for your clients so that they can get educated, knowing that there are down payment assistance programs out there to help them get in. So more information on that. But anyway, I think I used my 2 minutes. You got 5 seconds.
No, one of my clients that came over here has gone to other seminars. He says this seminar has been as far the best they have attended. Just want to let you know.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I was here when that event happened. I mean, it was a full house. We were running out of chairs. Awesome. All right, well, let's continue upcoming events real quick. Next slide, please. Next slide. All right, KW Mastermind, Win with Buyers. That'll be is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. What's that?
Tomorrow, 2 p.m.
Yeah, tomorrow, Thursday, September 22nd, 2 to 3. Minnie is going to be spearheading that, so please be on the Zoom call. Okay, King of the Hill softball tournament. Cheers on. We need our cheerleaders. KW South Bay. It's this Friday already, guys. This Friday, so the 23rd. It'll be. Well, the team players need to be there early, but I think our first game, I don't know if Holland's here, I think it's around 11:30. So you don't have to be there super early, but the team players that are going to be playing need to be there early, just so we know exactly what feel and all the good stuff. So yeah, love to have the spirit of KW South Bay, obviously the culture as well, this coming Friday. Next slide. All right, Manny's favorite chili cook-off. Who's ready for it? Remember last year? I think Michelle Brown was took the win on that one, right? So that'll be Wednesday, October 5th, 1 p.m. following our team meeting. So we're already here. Might as make the best of it. And I think we're gonna skip. I don't know, Fred. Where's Fred at? I thought I saw him. Fred, are we still having our? We're gonna bypass our mentorship on that day. Yeah, absolutely. So we'll push on that. So again, potluck suggested, baked potatoes, cornbread, nachos, Fritos, tacos, greens, and dessert. And then obviously we will give a prize to the best chili. All right. So make sure to bring it on. All right. Let's see who's going to have the best chili. All right, KW Cares presents every ticket is a donation to KW Cares. This is the multiplier of your business. That'll be Thursday, October 6th. I'm not sure. Next slide. I believe it's based on the guest speaker. So we have Mo Anderson, Mark Keene, Jason Abram, Jay Capizon, and the rest of the leaderships there as well. So it'll be a great, and all of the proceeds will go to KW Cares. So it's a great panelist of awesome, guest speakers. So. Yeah,
It's a Thursday, our time. I think it's
8 a.m.
Early, right?
to whatever noon. I signed up, even if you're not gonna attend, $20 going to our, charity, the company culture. But definitely make an effort to show up because again, it's 20 to 30 speakers,
That's a lot. Yeah.
tons of information. It's gonna be super interesting to see what they're doing. It's on the Zoom world. Yeah, you have to have a passport to get it. So it's on Zoom, so just sign up in between your, whatever you do, just tune in and listen in, okay? So we're gonna show the links again. Okay,
Awesome. Thank you, Minnie. Thanks for sharing. All right, let's continue. Again, just a quick reminder, our California Association of Realtors Annual Realtors Conference and Expo, October 11th, just around the corner, folks. We're already at the end of September. It'll be here locally at the Long Beach Convention Center, so leadership is going to be there. Any of you going to be there?
So far, it's about 50 of us.
Yeah,
Between
50.
the sister
Three offices, yeah.
So, if you've never been to a big convention, real estate wise,
Right.
if you didn't get a chance to, put forward to go to mega camp in Austin, in a different state, every year that, we have two of the big ones as a company. This one cost of gas and a sandwich for lunch. Because it's free admission if you go to the 2 days, which we're gonna go the 12th and the 13th. So join us. It's gonna be interesting. Gonna be speakers from different companies, organizations, coaches, and I don't know how many thousands of
people.
agents from California.
It's fun. And if you've never been to one of these car events, I encourage you to do so. It's an eye opener and a lot of nuggets you'll pick up from this event. And if you're a member, it's free. So take advantage of it. Next slide. All right, Command Con, live virtual event. It'll be November 9th, so you got plenty of time. Nick Bowen, our regional tech trainer, and Jason Ingram will spearhead that live streaming. So you can register on that. Just take a photo of it and you can go right. And it's completely free. So there's no charge there. All right, next slide. I think that's it. Oh, family reunion. Again, just a quick reminder, it is our 40th anniversary for KW. It'll be here locally in Anaheim, February 18th through the 21st. It's in person and tickets are $9.99. Right now, you got till September 30th before that price goes up. So, okay, next slide. That's a nice number, right? $9.99. All right, anyone like to pitch their listing, buyer needs? Aaron.
I have a new listing in South Redondo, 211 South Francisca. It's gonna be brokers open tomorrow and open the showing. Only during brokers from 12 to 4 and Saturday and Sunday from 12 to 5. It's 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, 2,200 square feet, it's $1,798,000.
$1,798,000. Good price. Redondo, right? Right here, Redondo. Awesome. How did you get that lead?
Online lead.
Beautiful. Awesome. Cool. Anyone else? Yes, Fred.
Two things.
Yes, sir.
I have a listing, a fixer in Pomona. Price right now in MLS is $650. It's about to be reduced to $620. We do have multiple offers on it, but if anybody knows anybody who's looking for a fixer, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 7,000 plus square feet on the lot in Pomona, right across from beautiful park, let me know. 2, Career Compass will be here on October 19th. Talking about how to get 7% over list price. So everyone is invited. And then 3, today at 1:30, leaflets challenge. There we go.
All right, stick around. Fred had mentioned last week about the Blitz challenge. So be here at 1:30 to get some more information and be part of that. So awesome. Thank you, Fred. All right. Anyone else? Going once, going.
Yeah, me.
Oh, yes. Hold on. Let me switch you real quick. Hold on. 1 second, because I got to. Let me switch it because then that way everyone can hear you. I apologize. So. Okay. Go ahead.
Thank you. I have a listing in Sacramento. It's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. I have an agent helping me there, but in case then you have anybody looking for a nice area. It's a single family resident, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 6,500 square footage, the lot, and the living space is 1,100. The price is 365. I just listed, and it's going below market because it's a divorce.
Wonderful, awesome.
Thank you.
Can you approve it?
All right, anyone else? Going once, going twice. Yeah, all right. That concludes, yes.
So by the way, about the probate, you just mentioned about it. Somebody tells you that, you know, the house is in probate, do not, I know sometimes they, oh, I can do that every now and then. Yeah, you know, yeah. You can work, you know, I can teach you, or I can explain how to go through the process, to kind of, you know, get more knowledge about it. Also, for my centers of influence, which is you are, or you know, agents for people who potentially can return clients, of course, my price is different, so I just. I think that's all.
Come back one more day, maybe a little more, more time, if you have some more questions.
Of course.
Yeah, maybe we can actually have a workshop where you come and it's strictly just, you know, all about,
We can create this scenario.
Yeah.
and so-
beautiful. I'll have you speak with Colin, so that way we can put you on the calendar. So that way, if you wanted to do the workshop with Maria. Wonderful, thank you, Maria. All right, team, well, that concludes. There's, I believe, still some sandwiches. Thank you. Remember, 1:30, we have